Hello to patrons and the people who waited a year. Hey, I am still pretty wired from doing the last episode. But let's get to it. Get that thumbnail. It's the 2024 New Year special, the year in review. What do we got for a thumbnail? How about this? How about some? Oh. Chunky as ever. That's the good stuff. Just finished doing the Christmas special. It's a little. Just doing 2 episodes in a row, getting it done, and then shipping out because I got merriment to go do. Where you are, is it the New Year yet? No, it's just before the New Year, right? Well, I don't know. It depends on if you're a patron. I don't know. I got to think of something to say. From all of me at Fix My CarCast, happy holidays and a happy new year. And then this is where the theme song goes. Okay. Yeah, this is a good spot for it. Okay. We're ready to start. You're listening to Fix My CarCast, hosted by Bear Claw Billy, and this is episode 156, the 2024 Year in Review Special. Comedian and musician Keith Hebert will join us as soon as he's done memorizing the lyrics to Auld Lang Syne. But first, housekeeping. This is the show where you pick what I say and how I say it. Pick a topic or prompt by donating to the GoFundMe and vote on the gimmick by joining my Patreon for just $1 a month. Join at the $5 or higher level and also get bonus episodes and behind the scenes footage. Links are in the description. Also down there, merch. Get yourself some merch. Do you want to look more fashionable in the new year? Well, there's only one thing to do, and that's to get yourself a Fix My CarCast t-shirt or tank top or whatever looks good on that little meat robot you're riding around in. No new donors this week. The total raise for paying off my car repair debt is still holding at $2,392. Also, when we get to $3,000, it unlocks an automatic show gimmick, which is I will record an episode at sea as soon as I am medically declared as seaworthy. Fun fact, did you know that this whole podcast disappears when we hit $10,000? Out with the old and in with nothing else. There won't be a second podcast after this one, I don't think. I don't know. Should I start another podcast? No, I can barely keep this one going. Hey, do you like the theme song? No? Well, if you make a donation of $50 or more, in addition to picking an episode topic, you get to change one thing about the theme song forever. Unless somebody else changes it back. Want me to add the sound of a ticking clock, each tiny tap getting louder and louder, like the approach of footsteps to the land of death? I'll do it, $50. And if you would like to own the painting I made in episode 118, I'll be giving it away to the next person who donates $100 or more. That's right, own a piece of Fix My CarCast history while you still can. If you'd like to see the painting before you buy it, it can be viewed in the raw video version of episode 118 over on Patreon. Link in the description. And yes, the painting is still in the room. No new patrons this week. Bummer. Now it's time for a topic suggestion. I'll suggest topics I think I could easily talk about for a whole episode, though admittedly I think the show is more fun when it's something I'm completely clueless about. So, something I could talk about is what I personally want to see in an It Follows sequel. They Follow was officially announced, and I have some ideas on just who they should follow. Want to know more? Donate today. Checking in on the best city in the world based on which city listened to the last episode the most. And our big winner is Portland, Maine. Congratulations, Portland, Maine. Let it be known that your M&M's World, Disney Store, and I Love New York Gifts luggage are the best in the world for 7 days. Last episode was our Christmas special with our wonderful guests Keith Hebert and Stephen King, where we all discussed 4 different film adaptations of A Christmas Carol. Again, thank you so much to Keith and to Stephen. It truly was the best episode I've ever done, and that's because of your insights, your humor, and your beautiful music. Thank you, thank you, thank you. You can see video of all the raw footage, plus quite a lot extra, over on Patreon. Also, head over to Patreon for a bonus episode where I talk about Die Hard. Nobody ever talks about that movie. Okay, let's talk next week's gimmick poll. These are your choices for next week's episode gimmick. They are: play the film The Barn Dance in its entirety, share my New Year's revolutions, flip through my new calendar, and our returning gimmick, do it like a Star Wars movie. Let's review. Number 1, play the film The Barn Dance in its entirety. I'm not going to tell you what that's about. At this point, you just have to be a fan of the show. But maybe listen to an episode from exactly 1 year ago. Number 2, share my New Year's revolutions. Pretty simple. If I have revolutions, I'll share them with you in the new year. Number 3, flip through my new calendar. My mom got me a new calendar. You want to see what it is? Vote for that one then. If you don't vote for it, I'll never tell you what it is. And our returning gimmick number 4, do it like a Star Wars movie. There's a movie called Star Wars, and they made a couple other ones. I'll do it like that, if that wins. So there you go. Star Wars. Remember that any gimmick that gets just a single vote is eligible for a second chance in 6 weeks. Be sure to vote over on Patreon. The poll closes Thursday, January 2nd at noon Eastern America time. All right, time for today's gimmick, which is complicated. There's technically no gimmick for today because it's our year in review special. Though I did put up a placeholder poll consisting of a 4-word end-of-year message. The word that got the most votes was year. So I guess today's gimmick is year. Of course, gimmicks don't start until housekeeping is out of the way in case any of them prevent me from sharing vital information. But now, we are entering the gimmick zone. From this point on, gimmicks are active and everything is improvised. There's no sponsored topic for today's episode because it's the Year in Review special. All right. We had us a merry little Christmas. We had us a rollicking good time. But the gimmick is year. Now, last year's New Year's special, the gimmick was happy. That one I knew. Just be happy. Just be happy the whole episode. This one's gimmick is year. And what a year it has been. I know it's the time for reflection. I know we're all supposed to be looking back at things and assessing, and this is the time for that. But it has been a year. It has been a rough year. I moved twice. I went to the emergency room twice. And I had 2 car accidents. Yeah. And of course, the comings and goings, the social things, the breakups, the falling outs, the new people, all that good shit. But it has been a year. A year of Fix My Car Cast. So what we're going to do, like we did last year, I say we, like you have any hand in this, and you know what you do? Pressing play. You have a finger in this, which is attached to your hand. So you have a hand in this. Folks, let's celebrate some of the victories over the old CarCast, shallst we? So yeah, we're going to go through the stats, the show stats, okay? And I want everyone to know I have not seen these before. When you have a podcast, your distributor gives you end of the year stats in a fancy Spotify wrapped sort of way. I have not looked at them, so I'm going to look at them right now. Pretty cool, huh? All right, let's take a look at my Buzzsprout Backtrack 2024. If you're watching the video version, hopefully you can see the fancy logo. Podcast year in review. Hey! Fix My Carcast grew 18% this year. Not too shabby, I guess. Maybe. Let's keep going. I averaged 1 episode per week. Damn right. And that number will never go down. I think last year it weirdly said I had 0.9999999 episodes per week, which I don't know what a 0.99 episode is. But, okay. Time for most popular cities. So, this is 4 episodes published in 2024. If you're watching the video version, sorry, it's already spoiled for you. But let's drum roll. Which cities downloaded the most Fix My Carcast episodes? Here we go. Coming in at number 5, it's Viva Las Vegas. That's right. Apparently, Las Vegas loves Fix My Carcast, or at the very least, a handful of episodes. Coming in at number 4, wink wink to our good friend in Frankfurt am Main, Hesse, in Germany. That's right. You are in 4th place. Thanks for reaching out. Thanks for fact-checking the plan. That was so long ago, wasn't it? You are number 4 in the world. So, be proud. Be proud of yourself. Coming in at number 3, it is Westbrook, Maine. Good job, Westbrook. Good job looking out. And then number 2, the old silver medal for the most episodes downloaded in 2024. It is Portland, Maine. They love me in Maine. I'm going to guess probably because I live in Maine. Wouldn't that have been horrible if it was like they love me in Maine probably because I live in Oregon? But no, I don't live in Oregon. I live in Maine. Toledo, Ohio, Maine, to be exact. All right, and the number one city, get ready for this, the number 1 city that downloaded episodes of Fix My Carcast in 2024 is Singapore. Yeah, that one surprised me, but yeah, the most downloads have happened in Singapore. So I don't know if I'm a big hit in Singapore, but nevertheless, I probably should have looked up how to say hello in your native tongue. But thank you, Singapore. I am honored that Singapore loves Fix My Carcast. Should I make that a shirt? I don't know. By the way, people on social media all the time will say quotes from the show back to me and say make that a shirt. And then every time I say I will actually make that a shirt, they're like, I wouldn't actually buy it. So tell me shirts you would actually buy and I'll think about making them. Okay, next thing on the list. What do we have here? How good was my year? Well, friends, looks like I was a jet setter. I was listened to in 11 countries. Oh, do you want to do this by country now? Downloads in 2024. Oh wait, this says episodes published in 2024. Is that a different metric? I don't know. Does anyone like the math stuff? We can get to the other stuff later if you want. But okay, in reverse, here we go. I wonder what the top country is going to be. Number 5, Bulgaria. Thanks for listening, Bulgaria. Number 4, Canada. Hey, love the healthcare there. I should visit sometime. Actually, I probably love the healthcare of all these countries except for number 1. Number 3, Germany. Again, thank you, Germany. One person loves me in Germany. And again, number 2, Singapore. You did it. Silver medal, Singapore. Great job. Thanks for being a fan. And then, of course, number 1 with a bullet, a joke that I hate making more and more every year, is the United States, who definitely is number 1 with a bullet. Problem. Thanks for enjoying me, the United States. Now, could you make it easier for me to survive? Woohoo! Let's have a toast to the United States. I am, of course, once again this year, because this is the time between holidays for you, but I'm recording this way before Christmas. But because it is the time between holidays, my beverage of choice is always champagne nog. That's half eggnog, half champagne, and you drink it when you're between Christmas and New Year's. So I've got a whole carton of it right here. Chewy. All right, so have yourself a champagne nog and join me as we reveal the top episodes. Now, I have to point this out. These are not episodes that necessarily came out in 2024. These were just the top episodes downloaded in 2024. And what's really interesting to me is only one of them is not from 2024. And it's actually from 2 years ago. But we'll get there. Once again, if you're watching the video version, you can already see the answers. But here we go. Coming in at number 5, it's Everybody Into My Laugh Gap. That's right, the one I did with a laugh track. Coming in at number 4 is Welcome to Akron, Ohio, Maine, episode 117. The last one was episode 106. And that is, of course, the one where I ventured, I welcomed people to my new town of Akron, Ohio, Maine, which then very quickly became not my new town because landlords are scum. Anyway, the third most popular episode, deservedly so, I would say, is 24 Fast, 24 Furious, the episode where I watched all the Fast and Furious movies in a 24-hour period in the middle of recording my podcast. So, intro, record. That's a fun one. The video comes out in about a month if you're one of the cheapskates. So, enjoy that one. I had a lot of fun with it. Coming in at number 2, the silver medal, it's Three Landlords, episode 105. What was that one? Three Landlords. Oh, that was the tarot card episode. And the sponsored topic was to talk about my landlords. Because the listeners into this show, fight the power. And then, number one, I feel like I was supposed to start a drum roll and then my brain froze. Number 1, though, if it's a big deal to you, number 1 is an episode from 2022, the Epitaph Thunderdome. And actually, I'm surprised it's number 1, but I'm not surprised it blew up like this. Over the last Halloween, people made posts about interesting epitaphs. And I jumped in and was like, oh, I did an episode of my podcast about this 2 years ago. And it blew up. Like, everybody downloaded that episode after I made that post. So that's exciting that an old episode is getting dug up as like, hey, this is a really good episode with a lot of really cool information. So, yay, good for me. So those are the top episodes. I'm going to do one more swipe of the Champnog. Oh, tastes like time broke. All right, what else is on this here list? Fix My Car Cast 2024. So many downloads. 52 episodes, 11 countries, 1.51k minutes. Is that literally the runtime of what I uploaded? 1,000 minutes of content. Yes. That's good podcasting. All right, good for me. Share image. Okay, well, those are the stats. And now, episode recap. We're going to scroll through every single episode that I've done this year. And I'm just going to reflect as quickly as I can for about 10 minutes because I don't want to do this forever. Because I also want to get out of here. I got to go celebrate Christmas. I got to go celebrate New Year's. So let's see. Let's go through every episode. Well, the last episode, which is rendered and hopefully will be uploading very soon, is I blanked on the title. Sorry, it's not on the list here because I haven't uploaded it yet. Shadows of things to come. Shadows of things that might come. Shadows of things that may come. Oh, shit. Forgetting my own title, but can't dwell on it. Phenomenal, wonderful, lovely. I'm so glad that Stephen King finally got back to me to be a full-on guest. And it was just absolutely wonderful. And of course, great to have Keith come back. Just a delightful, delightful episode. Lots of insights, a lot of reflection on the meaning of Christmas and the holiday season and togetherness and storytelling and what it's all about, friends. I'm just going to say, Stephen King, he's really with it. Okay, let's rock through these a little faster. A very Al Matei Billa Christmas. That was, of course, the episode that was like a Christmas movie. All those wonderful cliches. And, time travel and dreams. And was any of it canon? I don't know. Check the bonus episode. Let's see. Bless His Sweet, Sweet Hearts, episode 153. By the way, I don't think I did it in this order last year, but who cares? To new beginnings, to new changes. Doing the same thing over and over and expecting new results is the definition of Fix My Car Cast. Bless His Sweet, Sweet Hearts. That was my controversial Doctor Who opinion. And I don't remember what the gimmick was. I had to sing the whole time. That was me singing about Doctor Who. There you go. Let's ramp this up. Casino Royale. I had to talk about the best Bond girl while eating Jell-O. Yum, 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 yum. I'm going to have to move my eyes. I had to do the entire episode blinking as little as possible, and I talked about a drummer who I was not familiar with, but now I'm very familiar with, and I really like his stuff. Hiding from the Spooky Bird. That was, of course, the episode with my 3-year-old niece, and thank you to my 3-year-old niece for talking about whatever she wanted to talk about. Oh, that was the topic, whatever my niece wanted to talk about. She got to talk about it. The soda dump. I dumped soda over my head. What I talked about, I do not remember. High-speed photography. F the Lord. That was the one where I bleeped every F word in post and talked about Lord, a song by Lord. The Halloween Horror Review. Of course, 31 Halloween horror movies reviewed. I believe while doing it like an interrogation. Oh, yeah, because of the horrible tragedies this year in Toledo, Ohio, Maine. Thankfully, the killer has been put behind bars. Okay, is a mermaid a monster? That was another Halloween episode where I had to incorporate the names of various monsters while talking about an episode of Fix My Car Cast. Yeah. This show's been around long enough. Now one of the things I can talk about is one of the other episodes. So yeah, that was a fun one. Fresh drag and a fresh apple. I talked about a drag club while I put a razor blade in an apple. Very Halloween-y. Do you like Italian art? That was the one where I talked about an Italian painting. And it was very reminiscent of the film Scream. I'm not much of a gamer. I'll be honest, I don't remember what that one's about. Incorporate 25 video game titles while talking about Carter. I have no idea what Carter is. Oh, probably a show. Oh yeah, I think Guy from Sliders is in it. The Forests of Carlomonte. Had to do it like a D&D game. And it ended up being about, I believe, Monte Carlo. That one was a real treasure. That one was fun too because it operates on multiple levels. You have to be the characters in the game. You have to be the characters playing the game. That one was really fun. I'd do that again. I'd bring that back. Let's start the bidding at 0. I had to do it like an auction, and the topic ended up being a random Nazi. Less talking, more mountain. I'll be real honest. I don't remember what the gimmick was there. Oh, swapping the regular and bonus episodes. I don't even remember what was in which. So, yeah, I might become a trucker. That one. What was that one? I talked about... why is it censored? Oh, because I recorded it without a topic. The gimmick was to do it without a topic. So I tried, but it did eventually end up being about something. The old Texas slap. I believe I had to slap myself 10 times and talk about probably a random place in Texas. Hearst Springs, Texas specifically, and that may have been the final time that I ever accepted a random Wikipedia episode that was a place. Because literally every town in the world is on Wikipedia. If you look for a random Wikipedia page, you're going to get a random town. Or an athlete whose entire page is they were an athlete. Taylor Swift. That's the episode where I said Taylor Swift 100 times. I don't remember what the topic was. Probably something like Beast Wars. Oh, yeah! Okay. I do remember being really excited for that one. Because I did not know what I was going to do with the episode otherwise. Okay, let's keep rocketing. Arnold O'Murphy seeks a pal. That was, of course, in the style of Conan O'Brien Needs a Friend. And, of course, it was about miniature egg ball. Everyone's favorite topic. A fear of nuclear war. That one is not ringing any bells. Had to talk about nuclear anxiety while incorporating 25 sitcom titles. That sounds like a fun one. I should remember that one better. How to make a Brasilacerius? Well, that was, of course, the Make a Sandwich episode. I made a sandwich based on the topic, which ended up being a kind of cactus. That one was fun. The sandwich was solidly all right, if I recall. You like boats, but not the ocean. That was the one where I had to talk about Bohemian Paradise while reading listener reviews aloud. I think only like 3 people had anything to say, and it was all very constructive criticism. Straighten Up and Fly Right. That was the episode where I had to do it like a locker room speech. And I had to do it about a horrible night where a bunch of wrestlers got on a plane. So there's a merman. That is, of course, the one that I filmed in the Auburn Walmart parking lot while talking about the Disney Channel original movie, The 13th Year. Let's see, Michael Baywatch. Oh, that was the episode where I reviewed an episode of Baywatch while I watched a Michael Bay film. So, you know, that's fun. I realize I'm pretty much just saying the facts. I don't know, though. We're only halfway through the year, so I got to get this going. Message in a Bottle. I had to review another Baywatch episode while incorporating the titles of 25 Star Trek episodes. And what's extra fun is the title of the Baywatch episode and the title of the Fix My Carcast episode is also the title of a Star Trek episode. So that was a fun little 3-way coincidence. I cursed the name Buddy T. Semple. That was another Baywatch review, I can tell you that much. And I had to record it in extreme close-up, which probably didn't change the audio version that much, but for the video version, well, you got to look up my nose. The Mind Punch Zone, that was the one where we had to do it like a Manosphere podcast, and the topic was one near and dear to my heart. Back to the Future Part 2. What's up with the alternate timeline? Questions about that. I could talk about that all day. I could research that all day. That is also how I discovered that my Blu-ray of Back to the Future Part 2 is missing. If anyone would like to donate a Blu-ray of Back to the Future Part 2 to the show, please do. Live for your sick beats. That's right, we got a sick beats this year. I was too sick to talk, so I did a whole episode of music. I apologize for the lull there because Stamps usually hosts the Sick Beats episodes, and I did want to, at some point, have a memoriam for Stamps. We lost Stamps this year, and she will be missed. So rest in peace, Stamps. You were a great friend, and we miss you. Human Chainsaw Machine. I believe that is the episode where I had to lie about the topic. And of course, the topic was the album Like Clockwork by the band Human Chainsaw Machine. All right, This Incredible Wedding. Had to do it like a wedding toast. And that was at the lovely, lovely wedding of my friends Vic and Em. And I talked about the album Aquemini by Outkast. Pardon me, I don't edit, I don't go back. 1, 2, 3. Not immediately recalling what that is. If I can't, then you sure can't. Well, what a year it's been here at Fix My Carcast. That was the episode where I had to shotgun 3 beers and talk about the album Risque by Outkast. And then I'm Soaking Wet is the episode where I had to shotgun 2 beers and talk about the album Desperate Times, Desperate Measures by Adult Girl. And then the episode before that, The Taste of Beaver, is the episode where I had to shotgun 1 beer while talking about beavers. Go insane and die horrifically. That is the episode where I talked about tabletop role-playing games. And the gimmick was I had to destroy a painting. And I did. So, fun episode. Check it out, the video version especially, because you get to watch that sucker burn. Lego Troubles. I had to build a Lego set while finding the episode's sponsor a roommate. Shout out to Catherine. If you found a roommate, let me know. Did not check back up on that. I don't know if the episode helped at all. I'm going to take a wild swing and guess not. But yeah, that was a fun one. A Happy Little Accident. That was the one where I had to make a painting. The painting is still for sale. $100. And that painting is all yours. All right. Welcome to Akron, Ohio, Maine. That was the episode where I had to do it like Welcome to Night Vale. And it coincided with the very first episode where I was officially moved in to my new apartment in Akron, Ohio, Maine. And I had to talk about Vladimir II Yaroslavich, who, as far as I know, is still in Akron, Ohio, Maine, and we could revisit that at some point. I don't know. As always, you can sponsor... gotta be careful saying that word. You are at any time free to sponsor an episode about anything. If you want to know more about anything that has happened on Fix My Carcast, you can sponsor an episode about it. I'll look into it. I'll research it. Sustained and Overruled. That was the one where I did it like a legal drama. And I had to talk about the movie Our Love Story, which I still have not seen. This episode is about squash. I believe that's the one where I had to record it in my old apartment. And yes, I did indeed talk about the Swedish Open. All right. Sampling the Chitza. That is the episode where I had to eat the weirdest thing at KFC. And I talked about Joseph Limeberg. You know what? If there's one thing I'm thankful for, one thing that I'm grateful about doing this show, is that I discovered a lot of musicians I didn't know before. Either people recommending albums or random Wikipedia topics sending me down rabbit holes of like, oh, this stuff's pretty good. So I'm very, very grateful about that. That's been a great thing about 2024. Had to go for another hit of the old CN. All right. A Prescription for Love. I'm going to guess that's a medical drama. Yep. Yep. That's what that is. And I talked about Allium Taketi. Oh yeah, it's like a random plant or something. From Log to Clog, which I love that sounds like it's about plumbing, but it is in fact the Do It Like a Martha Stewart Living episode. Where I had to talk about Radio Brigagic, I believe is a radio station. And I fashioned a clog out of a log. That was a fun one. Peace, Love, Unity, Shrek. I forget what the topic was for that one. I'm going to guess a random athlete. But that was, Carl Fornow, whoever that is. That is the episode where I recorded it at a rave. And it was, in fact, a Shrek-themed rave. That was a fun one. Can't wait for the video to go public on that one. 50 Shades of Green. That is, of course, the episode where I got spanked by my Valentine while they talked about brassicas and other veggies. Yeah, that was a really fun episode. Awesome work there, Goose. Goose is a treasure. And that was a really fun episode. Okay, the opposite of a church. That one, the gimmick was to talk about the opposite of the topic. So I'm guessing some random church came up. Homely a Church. And if you haven't listened to that one, I won't spoil what I ultimately decided the opposite of a church is, but it's real dumb. I'm not proud of it. at all. 60 seconds on the clock. That is, of course, the episode where I have to stop talking after 60 seconds. And the topic was Drogon from Game of Thrones. Wow, we got a random Game of Thrones one, and I didn't remember that or pitch a fit or anything. Anyway, next we have, great episode in my humble opinion, 24 Fast, 24 Furious, episode 107. And that is, of course, the episode where I watched all the Fast and Furious movies back to back and then recorded my podcast at the end. Just a treat, just a delight. Thankfully, the sponsor also wanted me to review the movies. I won't lie, there's another timeline where I think it would be so much funnier if I did that and then they were like, now talk about Julia Louis-Dreyfus. Like, she's not in those, is she? No. But yeah, that's a really fun one. It's a really long one. The video version has like an extra, I want to say at least an extra 10 minutes. So enjoy the video version of that one specifically if you haven't seen it. Everybody into my laugh gap. We're into January, so we're almost done here. Everybody into my laugh gap. Oh yeah, that is of course the sitcom one. The one with a laugh track, and the topic was talk about stand-up comedy. Pretty simple, pretty straightforward. And then Three Landlords, the tarot card reading where I use the tarot cards to decide what vengeful spirits all my former landlords should be visited by. Not all of them, 3 of them. And if any lawyers are listening, don't listen to that episode. Okay, speaking of lawyers, the very first episode of this year was Batman v. Willie. And that is the episode where I played the film Steamboat Willie in its entirety. And the topic, I believe, if I remember correctly, yes, I had to talk about queer themes in Joel Schumacher's Batman films. So what a hoot, what a time, what a journey it's been. This has been 2024, and of course, we've got to get into thanks. I did not make a list of every single donor or patron, and that probably is bad. But I didn't think to do it before doing this. I could scroll through the GoFundMe page, but I think any of the anonymous names won't be there, and that'll get all confusing, and I don't want to do that. So, hey, have I been doing the gimmick of year yet? Does this episode have the feeling of someone who's really been through a year? I sure hope so. Let me just look at my notes to see if there's anything else I wanted to do. Nope. There's nothing else I want to do, truly, folks. Okay, it has been a year, and I would like to thank all the guests, all the donors, all the patrons, all the listeners, all the people who share what I do and support me as a person. And, you know, that also goes for people outside of the show, because the show doesn't happen if the Billy's not functioning. And I just want to thank everyone who has helped keep the Billy functioning this year, because there'd be no show if I weren't. So thank you, everybody. To better years ahead, I sure hope. I'm going to raise my carton of Cog. That's right. No, Shog. Shog. I don't want to get in a GIF scenario here. It's Shog. Champagne Nog. C-H-O-G. Half champagne, half nog. Down it between Christmas and New Year's. Okay? It is only to be drunk in that gap. So December 26th to December 30th. I'm going to say not even New Year's Eve, because that's when you go for actual champagne. Okay? So join me, get your shog, get ready to take a taste, and let's bring this show home. Because I'm going to do the As Always. I'm revving up for the final As Always of 2024. And so what I did last year was I posted a 4-word phrase for the gimmick and had people vote on it. And that phrase was, Happy New Year, bitches. And now I'm going to determine what the As Always is by how the votes went on each of those words and say them in the order of most votes to least votes. Has everybody got all that? Have I prepped you for maximum enjoyment? Great. Get ready for a supercut of every as always that has ever been spoken on this show this year. And as always, year. Folks, it literally just hit me. I forgot I have to do the supercut of all the as alwayses. And my iPad's not charged, and I'm leaving in like an hour. I maybe didn't think this through. But wish me luck. Oh, and if you're watching the video version, the supercut of the as always is not going to be in this, because I got to get this uploaded like now. Love you. Let's kick 2025 the way that it likes to be kicked, and then form a nice emotional relationship with it.